MMA with friends. What is up, guys? Just starting. Sorry I didn't give you guys much of a notice for this one, but me and David, we're young David. Wave young David in the background. Uh-oh. Beer foul, party foul. Woo, party foul, Corona. Been a long time since I streamed on phone, guys. What is going on here? Beowulf first. I'm gonna scoot up, think a little bit to the camera here, because this is like yeah, that's a better height. I can see you guys just chat. Young David's nice enough to lend me his phone if I can figure out how to use the new iPhone. I have an issue now that they took all these fucking buttons away. But what?
It doesn't work very well.
Oh, you don't like it? Oh, mom keeps telling me I'm just too stupid to use it.
It works fine. You can use it.
What's up, Beowulf? Good to see you. How's everybody doing? We can't see the fire in the background now, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to get different views.
Oh, I guess we can just see smoke. Just pour some freaking gasoline on it. It's magic.
I'm getting some different views.
Actually, you don't put gasoline on it. I'll put gasoline on it.
The problem is the fuel's burning up really fast.
We'll put some kindling, more cardboard, all that shit, and then a lot of the little dry grass and shit. We burned a lot of stuff in this yard yesterday as the media set fire to the UFC and to Dana White's plans of UFC 249. So we are still... God, how many days has this thing been going on? The virus. Oh, sorry, guys, I'm trying to turn this off. What's up, Rob? I'm in. Jamming out to some tunes. I wish I could play some more tunes on here, but I can't. So Dianne Feinstein, if you guys haven't realized why UFC 249 didn't go down, so there's a senator named Dianne Feinstein, and she went and tattled on Dana and said to the governor, Governor Newsom over there, and said, Governor, Dana's gonna have people fight in a hotel. I'm gonna go tattle. And then they went to the head of ESPN and the head of Disney, and now all of a sudden, guys, I don't see the issue with having 20 fucking people in a hotel. Governor Newsom called ESPN. Yeah, I mean, is that really his fucking job? Let's get real here. Senator Dianne Feinstein, she makes $300,000 a year, but she was real quick to sell a bunch of stocks on insider trading. She wasn't real worried. And you guys know I don't get political because I do not fucking like politics. The only time I do is when it interferes with sports and especially MMA and fighting. But Governor Feinstein, who made an exorbitant amount of money selling her stocks in illegal insider trading, I don't see how that's not illegal insider trading. Her and a couple other senators, and I'll be fair, it was a couple Republicans and Democrats that I know of, did not give information to the public. They held it privately until they were able to sell their stocks. Now they're buying back stocks before they give out good information. What's up, Torrin Brown in the house? Good to see you, my friend. Mike, did I say to you UFC 249 going to be postponed? Hey, Alexander Dinnick, I got something for you. Yes, you did, sir. And I mean, I always knew there was a chance that it might not go off. But it would have gone off. Yeah, I'm pretty pissed. Yeah, I'm pissed about it. But here's the thing. Like, I told you guys that I had some insider information. I shared some of it later, and there was some of it that I didn't share for a reason. I did come out with it. I will apologize. I came out with Taji Palace a little before the UFC announced it, and I do regret that, but I wasn't the first one. I talked about knowing something several days before, and someone in confidence told me that, and I held on to that information until it was at least on a lot of other websites. And apparently Dana knew what he was doing. He knew if these politicians got a hold of that information that we were going to have a freaking problem. And here we go. Now we got the island. I don't know if they're going to try to shut down the island, but someone had made the point that these Native American lands, they don't have jurisdiction over these lands. And they really don't. Who else is live right now? Oh, I see it. Coming up. Dumb politicians. Home Depot has more people working than what would have put on this card. We needed this card. I think they pushed back because they know Dana is friends with Trump. I'm starting to believe a little bit of that conspiracy. And I'm not a fan of either side. I'm not like big on politics. I'm not rah-rah Trump. I'm not rah-rah Biden. I wasn't rah-rah Hillary or Bernie or, you know, put a name to a politician. I don't have a whole lot of trust or respect in any of them. And it's not my field. That's why I try not to get into it. I don't want it to be my field. I like sports. I like to watch sports. It doesn't generally stress me out. It's enjoyable. It doesn't affect my life in negative ways for the most part. And, but this just sucks. Yeah, I got to call out Dianne Feinstein and Governor Newsom. I don't like it. I'm in these grocery stores. I've been in these grocery stores. Going on weeks now. Going on weeks when they were telling me they didn't even want me to wear a mask at the beginning. And I got people up in my face all day long. And I'm going to call out. I'm just going to vent here. This is kind of a, you know, really a laid back stream. I'm going to vent. And you guys might not even know, some of you might not even know who these franchises are. But I got QFC and Safeways. Those are two branches over here. And I'm like, why is everybody taking so damn long to shop? You got these tiny aisles. And then you have these people standing in my way, coughing all over the place. They got, you know, 6 kids with them. That's fine. You bring your kids out. I'm not here to judge you, but try to be respectful of people around you if you really believe this is that bad. I'm like, what are they doing playing on their phones in the middle? They're looking for crap on these stupid apps. Safeways and QFC, so they built these tiny aisles, and then Safeways puts these stacks on the outside of the aisle to make it to where you can't get down. Then you have a worker trying to work, an employee. The aisle's not even 2 carts wide. And then you have this idiot standing there with their telephone trying to find these freaking cute. Just make the products scan until this is over. These guys are trying to say they're coming up with all these safety precautions to supposedly keep us safe as employees, keep the customers safe. One of the safest damn things you could do is to suspend these phone apps and let everything scan at the check stands until this is over. I know it sounds like I'm totally blowing this out of proportion, but it's seriously a safety hazard. It seriously is. What time is it in Seattle? It is 8:31. So the sun has set. You have gloves, David?
No.
Is there gloves somewhere? I was going to move this fire pit a little closer, but I'm not going to touch a hot fire pit. Have my beer in my hand, though. What's everybody drinking?
Let's see.
Sorry to vent.
My sweater. Is my sweater good enough?
A little bit there, but...
My sweater is good enough to grab the top.
Okay, I'll move it. I don't want you to burn yourself.
Okay, you don't have a sweater or anything. I was going to use my sweater.
Yeah, it would be pretty stupid to grab that right now. Well, be fucking careful, man.
Yeah, I'll be careful.
It's not worth catching that damn thing on fire. So, no, Burn Barrel is a guy in town that had a bunch of containers. They were like big containers that pie filling came in.
That's that.
And I was marveling at his entrepreneurship. Cool. Just get the fire going. Nice. Good job. I was marveling at his, what's the word I'm looking for here? Entrepreneurship skills. He had bought like a truckload of these things that used to have pie filling in them, cleaned them all out. He was taking the plastic thing on the outside, selling it as planters and things for watering gardens and things. And then he sold the inside as a burn barrel. I don't remember what we paid for it, David, like $15 or something. It wasn't very much. Burn barrels sometimes can be hard to find here. Laid back stream. I got it. Yeah, no, I definitely want to talk to you guys though. Now they're doing 1 in, 1 out at Costco. What? Wow. When was the last time you went to Costco? Did you go with Mom last time she went?
1 in, 1 out? It was 15 in.
Where is that at, Rob? 1 in, 1 out, huh? Wow.
I
say put shoppers on a timer. Absolutely, Rob. Abso-freaking-lutely.
I think they're letting more than one person in.
I am so annoyed with label readers and phone gawkers right now that are holding up the aisles and just being idiots. And I don't know if some people will do it, I think, just to annoy you. Like I asked some people, I'm like, oh, can I help you? Even though it's not my grocery store, I'm like, I can find this stuff obviously faster than they can, because I didn't realize part of the quarantine said now shop please as slowly as you possibly freaking can. Apparently that was part of the direct orders. I didn't hear Trump say it, but I mean, maybe our governor Jay Inslee said it and I missed it. In the morning. Yeah, the mornings are bad, and that's when I'm there. Hello, guys. What's up? Breaking news. Famous actor. What? Famous actor Morgan Freeman, of age 79, was discovered early evening in his Los Angeles live gardening his plant. Oh, my God. You got me. You freaking got me. You SOB. That was pretty good, though, man. You totally got me. I totally thought we lost Morgan Freeman. Cheers, sir. I would give you applause if I had the applause button right now. Thank you, JJ Smith. I love fires, man. I love being outside and the fire. And oh, there we go. Oh, careful, David. Did you just pour gasoline on there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pour gasoline on something and then throw it in. I really don't want you starting yourself on fire on stream.
We're good.
Okay. I mean, if you're starting yourself on fire again when we're not on stream, I mean, I guess that's your thing, but I don't want to be responsible. Wow, I can feel that now. Sweet. I hate Trump. You ain't done nothing good for this country. You know, not taking views on people. I mean, I did. That's fair. I did criticize a couple of politicians. I criticized them for their policies, but I mean, you're definitely having a blue moon sitting on the deck. Nice. So what fight prevails? Gaethje versus Tony, or B versus Tony? Did anybody pay for $249? I don't know. I don't know. That's that'll be interesting to see how quick they get the refunds. But on another note, I bought a lot of events. For whatever reason, this is the year that I decided to just buy tickets for everything from Ticketmaster, and I mean everything. And then we bought it from Broadway San Francisco, which I'm still waiting on a refund for Hamilton Plays. Plane tickets that I got credits for. Well, I know why I actually had money for once this year, a little bit more money. But and it's my daughter's senior year. She's going off to college next year. The son, young David's going to be 20 years old.
Yep.
Kind of sounded like a question, didn't it? It's just hard for me to believe. 20 years old in December, young David. Do you feel like you're 20?
What does it mean to feel like 20?
What fight prevails? I gotta hope it's Khabib versus Tony, but David, how much do you believe in curses? On a scale of 1 to 10. Like actual curses. Is there any belief there for you?
No.
Not really for me either, but this fight's been
Except for the one you got by putting out the opponent player.
This fight's been canceled 5 times. All of those 35 pack things with plastic around them are completely dry. I took them off the porch. You just had to pull the plastic off them. To the left of or right next to the bucket there?
Yep.
Yeah, thanks. Everything's canceled for the year. 60-minute time limit for shoppers. Maybe in Costco and Safeways, maybe 20. Give them like 20. These guys some of these shoppers are the stupidest freaking people. Jersey, they're only letting 5 in at a time. Good for them. I was just happy that Save Mart was mostly stocked today. Nice. Yeah, people do need to be able to get food. Haha, David almost caught on fire. Did you almost catch on fire?
The gas can caught on fire.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Careful, son.
Can. But it was fine.
One Bay Area county is now doing odd even shopping days. So they suggested in this area that people with a certain initial go on even days. Was our day even? Do you remember? Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. Was an even and odd? And oh no, our day's even. So we've been trying to stick to that. But my main thing is I'm already going out working. So I'm in 3 grocery stores a day already. I have to work. Wow, that is quite the fire. I'm not sure that the camera quite tells that, but it's closer than the objects in camera are closer than they appear. UFC returns with stack cards in July. I believe that. It's got to come soon. You got to get that private island out there, and boom, let's
well,
go. If it has to be on Fight Pass, if it has to be on Ustream, I don't care. And I want to go to the island. I'm still up for it. I tweeted Dana in the UFC talking to any connection I have. I don't have a lot of them. Got a couple good connections that have got me some good info. I don't know if they can get me on the island. But I know there are reporters that do not want to go out through this coronavirus to do anything. So if I can get myself on that island, I want to be there.
Well, when the fights come back, it's going to be wild because every fighter is going to be allowed to fight.
Yeah, they're going to need money. Exactly, David. Everybody's going to need money.
They're going to need a time where they're allowed to. No one has fought too recently.
So we've talked about curses, David. Does Khabib versus Tony get made next? Is that the next fight for Tony, or does he fight Justin Gaethje?
I don't know.
So Ramadan is coming. I know it's coming up here in a few weeks. It's 6 weeks long. Khabib was saying he doesn't want to fight till, what was it, September, October. So watch Brandon and Joe on his podcast, The World Around the Block, going to fight on every weekend.
I think...
Word Around the Block, going to be fighting every week. Yeah, I heard that. I've even heard possibly on Tuesdays. Got your damn, get your damn money back at 889. Oh, did you buy? I bought it 2 hours before. Oh, shit. I hope they give it to you. But what Ticketmaster's doing, UFC refunded me right away for that one. And that was through Ticketmaster. But all the concerts, most of them, except for the Aussie one, because obviously, I mean, he canceled these indefinitely because he's has Parkinson's disease and he can only get the therapy he needs in Europe. So he's touring Europe and not here. But as far as some other concerts, like we have tickets for Rage Against the Machine, which I don't want to give up. Postpone it forever, that's fine. Until it finally happens, I want to go. But there's a lot of people that need money out there right now, and Ticketmaster changed their wording during the virus crisis. I guess I can't actually say the name. The Dianne Feinstein virus, is that what it's called? I think it's the Dianne Feinstein virus. No. Anyways, during the Dianne Feinstein virus, they actually changed their wording on their policy about postponements and cancellations and how that wording works. So they're not giving money back to some people, and they're saying that the concert's canceled indefinitely, but they plan on having it eventually, so they're not getting a refund, and it's being considered a postponement. Some people are not even going to be in those areas anymore. I've heard a lot of people that are moving during that time. I haven't watched Brandon and Joe recently. I haven't watched as many Joe Rogan podcasts recently or listened to them. I'll listen to maybe like 30 minutes an hour. I can't handle listening to 3 hours talk about this virus right now. It gets in my head too much. I can listen to 30 minutes. I can do an hour chat, whatever, but I just can't, while I'm working, I can't sit there and just listen all day about it. And it's hard. I understand. How are you going to talk that long without bringing it up? It's pretty hard when that's all that's going on. But it does get in my head. I've had some depressed days. I'm sure we all have. I've had some anxious moments, some sleepless nights through this, and everybody in my family thinks it's silly. My friends and everything make it silly, but the canceling of UFC 249 caused some more sleepless nights for me. It caused me some more stress. It was just a nice thing that I was looking forward to. I really thought there was a good chance it was going to happen. And, you know, we are where we are, and it is what it is, as Max Holloway would say. I don't know, man. I'm starting to think this Dianne Feinstein spawned just for the sole purpose of stomping. Stomping. I don't think we're going to see them fight. Khabib versus Tony, never going to happen. It's cursed. Man, you guys remember that after the fourth time it was canceled, that Dana White said he'd never make that fight again? And then people wanted it so bad. And Tony Ferguson hasn't lost. I mean, I think there were still people on dial-up the last time this guy lost. Like a lot of people. This is awesome. I love this new stream. Fireside, Sunset, Beers format. Well, thank you, Beowulf. Hope you guys, I planned on starting this just a little earlier before it got this dark. I know it's probably pretty hard to see.
Then the Eternal Fire fiasco went down.
Yeah, and I didn't get David in it. David's upset because we had a burn barrel. You want to explain it, David?
So we were burning yesterday.
Get up closer to the mic so they can hear you.
And we put a lot of different things in it. We were doing yard work all day. We had a lot of cardboard. We had food waste. Like grease and stuff. We had a lot of different things in that burn barrel.
Yeah, scoot over for you a little bit.
And it was some pretty low just ashes and embers. And we just left it there.
Ashes.
It was pretty low. It was smoldering a little bit. We watched it for a while, but eventually we went to bed. In the morning, we got up, and, well, I mean, nothing happened then, but tonight we came out here, and it was still burning.
About 24 hours later, so I dumped the ashes out because I didn't think there was anything left in them. And then when they hit the ground, there was still a lot of embers, so David thought,
so we ended up creating an eternal flame. And Dad dumped it out. I was going in to get shoes to start shoveling it back into the barrel, because obviously extinguishing the eternal flame is going to be extremely cursed. And Dad goes and pours water on it.
well, I'm sorry if I didn't want to light the neighbor's house on
We
fire.
do have a little bit of it left, though.
Since it was over their field.
We do have a little bit of it left.
It is in the
in
burn
the
barrel right
bottom,
now.
but it's not very much, and I don't think it's enough to stay eternal this time. I don't think we gathered enough of the eternal flame.
Shoot. Well, I think it's pretty much out now.
Oh, it's going in there, I think.
Yeah. See if you can get it hopping up a little more.
Might have poured the wrong
Thank
basket
you.
in it.
It's the one with the green thing on it. Oh no, don't use that big one. We've got water in it.
Okay.
Oh, did you pour water on the fire?
I already did it once, and it started right back up. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I left a gas can out in the rain and got water in. I seen some idiot today talking about Conor deserves winner of Khabib. Tony, no he doesn't. Being a wash-up Donald Cerrone doesn't get, title shots. Man, Conor doesn't deserve nothing. Yeah, if you can get a title shot for a one-fight win streak, come on. Conor does everything to avoid the real fights, trying to fight Nate Diaz for a third time. I do want to see that fight, but I want to more so I want to see Justin Gaethje just whoop that ass. And I think that's what would happen. There we go. Careful. Oh shit, did you just about light that gas can on fire again?
I poured it in a plastic cup first.
Well, next time throw the cup in there so you don't burn yourself.
It's fine.
All
I
right.
have firecrackers in my hands.
All right,
Which I
young
do
David
not
might die
advise.
for young David may die for this stream, and this guy's let you know he's not a minor anymore. He's responsible for himself. Conor's on his second win and more dangerous than ever. He did look good though, and those shoulder strikes look good. He looks good physically. He sounds good mentally. He could be. I get Conor draws a lot of money, but at the end of the day, fair is fair. I agree with that as well. Conor doesn't deserve no rematch with Khabib. Dana should stop being so damn money hungry all the time. I will give Dana a lot of props right now. And I think young David disagrees with me a little bit. Let me say what I'm saying first, and then he can let me know if he does. But he's been working very hard to put this on, to get these fights going day and night, whether you believe they should happen or not. I mean, we're talking about 20-some people in a casino, and he's been working not just for the event to go off and to make money, but so the fighters can make money. And here's the deal. Dana White is on a per-year contract, $25 million a year. So if no fight happen, unless Dana voluntarily takes a pay cut, and I don't blame him for not taking a pay cut yet because he's working harder than ever, he still gets paid. So he could just sit back and be like, oh yeah, nothing can happen. But he's working hard trying to get these fights going, and I admire that. What's your thoughts on that, David? I think your thoughts are a little different.
Mainly, I am just worried
Get up a little closer.
about the image from non-fight fans, right? From people outside who could someday become fight fans. Maybe seeing this person that they're already going to assume is crazy, working really hard and buying a private island to get around the quarantine bans. And I don't know if that's
Okay,
the
don't pour
best
more
thing
gas in there for a little while. Yeah, it's very hard to keep a fire going in Seattle.
Fighters paid, but I feel like maybe sending fighters all around the world and buying a private island could be not the best look.
I see where you're coming from, and a lot of people agree with you on that. Conor is the top 3 fighter in the 155. Khabib champion goes Tony, Conor, and Justin. I would say Tony, Justin, Conor, but yeah, in that order, that's your top 3. I don't see who else you would put ahead of any of those fighters. So I'm not going to split hairs with you. Conor takes short path, but I agree should beat another contender like Gaethje. I think that should be the elimination fight for the next fight. Conor fights Gaethje. They could do it. They could do it back-to-back weeks. Put one of them on big ESPN with no sports going right now. Put the other one on pay-per-view, and I mean that would be sweet. Number 1, Khabib. Number 2, Tony. Number 3, Gaethje. Number 4, Conor. What's up, Life on Mars? What's up, Torn Brand? For those that I didn't take a shout out to, JJ Smith in the house. Bay Wolf, Captain Buzzkill, Haterade 9, Rob Iman. Thanks everybody for coming in. Kai's 25. I'm doing good, man. I like the Blair Witch Project comment. Never seen the movie, but I know the premise.
I don't think Conor McGregor wants to fight anyone he thinks he might lose to.
That's the smartest thing you've said all day, David.
Because he makes a lot more money off his brand than he could make off his fights. And look back at who we remember today and who versus who we held up at the time. When someone like, a lot of times, someone will be huge and then they'll lose a fight really bad, or they'll lose a few fights and history forgets them.
Yeah, Roy Jones Jr., number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, was destined to go down and was one of the greatest, if not the greatest, and lost later in his career when he got old. Yeah, perfect example.
A lot of times in the very old age, they get away with it. But like, who's some of the big people at the time that Mike Tyson beat? Can you name any of them? You probably can. I wasn't watching at the time. I can't.
Well, it was the 80s.
Same thing with Roy Jones. I'm sure he fought some people who were famous in his time.
Oh, he beat a lot of good fighters. James Toney for one of them.
Right, there's a few of them, but
Bernard
James
Hopkins.
Toney, think how much smaller James
John
Toney
Ruiz, a heavyweight. Oh.
Than Roy.
What do you mean small? Oh, it's like stature.
Yeah. No, like
He was when Roy Jones fought James Toney the first time. James Toney was the number 1 pound-for-pound rated fighter in the world, undefeated. Both fighters were undefeated. But are you ready to put on weekly streams when they go full-bore fights? It should be epic. I cannot wait, man. Absolutely. What's up, Pulse Resurrected? Good to see you, my friend. Difference in Cruz and Conor. Dominic body is shot and always injured, doesn't lose fights. I feel really bad for Dominic. I used to not be the biggest Dominic Cruz fan because something about him kind of irritated me. I love his take as an analyst. I love his commentating. I feel so bad for him. Yeah, his body just gives up on him. He's got so many problems from plantar fasciitis. I can't keep track of them all, but I know there's a lot. Are you going to make s'mores or what? No s'mores tonight.
We could.
No, there's actually
we don't have marshmallows,
no.
we
cleared out several parts of the yard, and some of this grass and different things had some weed killer on it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to cook food on the fire. But one night we should. Yeah, we'll roast some hot dogs or something out here. Have some beers.
Do some firewood instead of some
fire, and we could do some
Costco
fireworks. I heard neighbors. I think I heard some neighbors lighting off fireworks there. So of course Conor can look good against a washed-up Cerrone. Absolutely. I don't see why people were surprised that Conor beat Cerrone. I wasn't surprised. I was a little surprised the time that it took. The shoulder strike threw me off. I haven't seen anybody be that successful shoulder strikes in a while. Some people think Conor doesn't deserve another chance. We're willing to give Cruz. Yeah, I went over that. Sorry. Yeah, Evander Holyfield, great example. Diego Tango, one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, along with Lennox Lewis. As much as I love Mike Tyson, I mean, he totally outshines both of those guys, and those are both fighters that beat Tyson. Lennox Lewis, of course, dominated him. I mean, Tyson was well past his prime. Lennox was pretty old too. It was a bad matchup for him, but he dominated him much nonetheless. Mike beat the best the heavyweight division had to offer at that time. That's true. And he beat Larry Holmes. He beat the former champ. He beat Larry Holmes. Everybody knows Larry Holmes. He beat Michael Spinks. George Foreman didn't want to fight him. George Foreman said, fuck that. I'm not fighting that young beast. He's like, that guy would have beat me in my prime. That's what he said. He's like, I'm not fighting him now. And then Riddick Bowe, I believe Riddick Bowe and Mike Tyson never fought out of respect. Of course, Riddick Bowe ducked Lennox Lewis, threw his WBC belt in the garbage, which really tarnished his legacy. And now Riddick Bowe, mentally, he's a mess. He almost got into it with Lennox Lewis at like a Hall of Fame chat thing about a month or two ago. Lennox Lewis was talking about it. Still no love lost with Lennox Lewis for Riddick Bowe, either one of those guys. But Lennox Lewis he's really not known for going after guys, especially when he's not hopping fights. That guy does not like Riddick Bowe at all. Conor didn't just beat him though, he demolished him, made millions without getting touched. 80 million's the rumor, 80 million to beat up an old guy that most people didn't give any shot against. Whoa, David. That is the Fireball, Fire Starter, Wicked Fire Starter. Shout out to Prodigy. Rest in peace, Prodigy. And the Fire Starter. Cerrone, he wasn't going to get touched. Torn, I believe you hate Conor, but Conor already in his career already fought a lot of top guys and beaten them. Doesn't matter if he took shortcuts, he still wins those fights.
Yeah, let's be clear. I think Conor is an incredible fighter.
I think he's a very precise striker. I don't think he's the most complete martial artist, but he's definitely worked he's definitely worked on a lot of those holes and deficits in his game and gotten better.
Honestly, when you're that good of a striker, like, there's a lot of times where we think you can't just be good at one thing and beat everyone who's good at multiple things, and then sometimes someone comes around that's just so good at one thing that they do pretty well.
Well, Chuck Liddell, the last light heavyweight champion, what he did, he had great wrestling. He never really used it much. He had such great power, but he used that wrestling to have incredible takedown defense, and that served him well against Randy Couture and a lot of other championship fights. Couldn't stop Khabib's wrestling. Viva Pinata. What's up, Viva Pinata? What's up, Jonk? Out from the block.
No, Khabib would dominate.
Couldn't stop Khabib's wrestling. Well, they fought once, and Khabib did dominate. Do you think Conor's ever going to beat Khabib?
No.
I don't know.
Absolutely not.
Why?
Khabib is going to beat him on striking most of the time.
Do you think Khabib's going to beat Conor on striking?
I don't know. They're not that far. Khabib's a beast. I don't know if he beats him every time, but he goes toe-to-toe with him.
He did last time.
Right? I think Khabib is one of the few people in the UFC who goes toe-to-toe with striking with Conor, and he has other stuff that's just so much better.
And, I mean, I do have to admit, Khabib did land some good
He
shots.
Dominates him everywhere.
His wrestling set it up. But, yeah. Do you think Khabib versus Tony and Conor versus Justin is back on the table? Now that fights have been canceled, then definitely. I think Khabib versus Tony is. I don't know if we're going to see Conor versus Justin soon, if ever. I think Conor will avoid that bout if he can, especially if he can weasel his way into the winner of Khabib versus Tony. I think he wants to fight Nate Diaz for a third fight if he doesn't get that one. If Conor would have fought Justin or Tony for his return fight, he wasn't going to do that like he did washed up Cerrone. Oh, I agree that. I think he might beat T-Ferg just because I think in those first couple rounds, I think it might be a bad matchup for Tony Ferguson. He can get a bit wild. Get past like halfway through the second round, and especially the third round though, I think Tony Ferguson starts to gain a big advantage later in the fight. He can beat him. He will no, but he can. He will not, but he can. I mean, it's certainly possible. Khabib's wrestling level is matched to world-class champions, but I think Khabib would have trouble with Justin more than Tony. I agree. And Justin's striking is so precise. Oh, I don't know, because Tony, when you get him on the ground, Tony is so good on the ground, though. I think Tony maybe gives more problems to Khabib than he does to Justin, to be honest. Because his striking is so precise. I think Tony's more likely to try to get into a war with him. And you cannot get in a back-to-back fight right now, in a back-and-forth war with Justin Gaethje right now. He hits too hard. I think he has tied up some of the holes in his game that we've seen in his first couple fights in the UFC. Woo! Oh my goodness, son. And that dude is super freaking dangerous.
It wasn't even that much.
Well, it's gasoline, son.
Yeah, but
Tony Ferguson would end Conor. He might. Who's next for Conor then? I think probably Nate Diaz. Or the winner of Tony and Khabib, if he can get his way in. 24 people up in here. Thank you guys very much. Everybody, please hit that thumbs up button. If for some reason you're not subscribed, make sure and take care of that now. I think pretty much everybody is subscribed. If you're looking for supplements, onit.com, just put /fights with friends at the end of it, guys. Get your vitamins, get your alpha brain, get your focus on during this quarantine. I love this channel so much. I hope you blow up. You deserve it. Well, thank you. Keep doing your job. Thank you, Isaiah the Gamer. Sounds like you might have a channel yourself. Everybody check that out. What kind of games do you stream? Conor doesn't want that smoke with Tony Ferguson. Does Tony have more stamina than Khabib? I don't think either one of those guys are going to run out of gas in 25 minutes. I haven't seen anything showing that they're going to. Both those guys can go the full 25 minutes. I don't know the gas tanks are really going to come into play in that fight. Mike, Justin wrestling is world class. A lot of people don't know that about Justin. It is, and that's why I say he could give Ferguson a hell of a match, because he could keep it standing. I think he could possibly draw Ferguson into a battle and possibly get caught. But it's hard to say. It's hard to take anybody against Ferguson right now either. He hasn't lost in so long. I have a real hard time taking anybody against Khabib at 28-0. Except for Tony. They have the same win streak in the UFC. They both won, I believe, 13. I believe they're both, Khabib's 13-0 in the UFC. Tony Ferguson's won his last 13 in the UFC. Pretty much even. I don't know why people act like Conor would just dominate T-Ferg standing. I believe Tony could definitely get some hits on. Oh, I believe he can too. I believe he can definitely beat him. Torin. Definitely possible. What's up, Snake Pilskin in the house? Good to see you, my friend. Ethan Reniger, how you doing? Do you think Clowney will come back? Clowney will come back to the Hawks? God, I hope so, man. They need him. That's something we will have. We'll have the NFL draft at the end of the month. It is going to be all virtual, but I will cover that. So if you guys are interested to see who goes on the best teams, probably at least the first 3 rounds. If a lot of people are watching and people are saying they want to see the later rounds, I'll definitely cover it. But for sure, we'll do the first 3. And then if the viewership's not high and the interest is low, then maybe I'll just do the first 3. You watch the Tony fights, right? Pettis dropped Tony. Yeah, Tony was also coming back from that torn LCL, though. I believe way earlier than he should have. And I think that was a mistake. There was moments he was off balance. There was moments that you could tell his leg just wasn't 100% there when he got hit. I think Pettis maybe caught him off balance a couple times. I know I don't stream, but your channel's so good to listen to before a fight. Or if I don't buy the fight, I watch you live analysis. Well, thank you, Isaiah. I appreciate you, sir. Think about Tony is taller than Conor and has a longer reach than Conor, too. Imagine if Clowney did MMA. That guy's one powerful... Oh, he definitely is, man. That guy's a friggin' beast. Yep, JJ Smith in the house. Good dude. Snake, a lot of good dudes in here. Good community. Guys, through all this, for anybody who's lost hours, lost their job or anything like that, guys, you're in my thoughts. You're in, I think, all of our thoughts, you know, my friends, every day. And I hope you guys are able to get back to work soon. I hope nobody out there, you know, I hope people out there aren't struggling financially. I definitely hope you guys are all well and stay away from, you know, what's going on right now. I feel, even though I've lost some hours, I definitely feel fortunate to have work right now. I'm still considered an essential employee at the moment. I guess people need their potato chips. So on I work. Call me crazy, but I believe Justin will beat Conor McGregor. I think he definitely could. I think it's a great fight, and I would probably slightly favor Gaethje myself. But I think Conor does a lot of good things that could give Gaethje problems too. Mostly his accurate striking. The old Justin who fought Michael Johnson, Conor would have knocked out. Spot on analysis, Torrin. I couldn't agree with you more. Better today, get a lot of stuff taken care of. Good, man. Good. I'm glad everything's going good. I hope it continues to go good. Anybody, and just say anybody, guys, don't be embarrassed if for some reason somebody out there, I'm not saying anybody in particular, but throughout this, guys, if you just need somebody to chat to, if the anxiety is getting too much for you, sometimes it does for me. If you're in a dark spot, if you're in a bad place, if for some reason you're not able to get food, please reach out to me. Reach out to me on Twitter at FightsWFriends. Message me personally on Facebook, Michael Benedict, or you can join the Fights with Friends Facebook group, growing almost up to 400, about 1,600, over 1,600 followers now on Twitter. So thank you guys for the growth on that. But seriously, I don't want to watch. I can't watch anybody go hungry, guys. And I mean, you can come to me anonymously, come to me in here and whatever. But we're here for each other through this. Tony will knock out Justin because his posture and stance. He's too open to the mobility of Tony. That's a great point, Isaiah. The game. Conor has somewhat of a boxing stance. He's got a very wide stance. He puts a lot of weight on that front foot. Fighters with good leg kicks could expose that, like Gaethje. And that's a good thing. Look at Justin Gaethje's leg kicks, what he did to Edson Barbosa. What if he kicks that front leg of Conor when he has all that weight on there?
You still got those matches?
I mean, I'm not even kidding. Gaethje could snap that freaking leg in half. I think so. Yeah, right here.
What's going on.
I mean, he really could. I mean, that guy, he might be the most dangerous striker in the game right now, Justin Gaethje, as far as power. Hard to beat Conor on accuracy. Gaethje's getting much more accurate. Maybe, hopefully you guys can see me a little better. There, I got a flashlight out here too. Wind blowing. Maybe the answer's blowing in the wind. I don't know. But the answer, my friend, sounds like Tony and Gaethje be going forward on a different date on Fight Island. They're gonna be going on Fight Island. What do you think about Fight Island, young David? I want to hear young David's take on Fight Island.
Interesting.
Is it insane? Be honest. Do you think it's just completely nuts? Is Dana just completely
nuts?
You think he's lost his mind? Come on, young David. Be honest.
I don't think he's lost his mind, but it's a
pretty crazy idea.
Yeah.
Who's watched Enter the Dragon? I know David's watching with me. Great movie, by the way. David immediately started calling Dana White on from Enter the Dragon, the guy with the claw.
He needs to wear a claw in the first event.
Oh my goodness. Justin has very good leg kicks, which could cause problems. Definitely could, J.J. Smith. Abso-friggin-lutely. One of the best. Hello, yes, it's J.J. Smith. Torrin Brown, my friend things can always get better, I promise you. This, you're here for a purpose. I'm in a dark place. I've been feeling, oh, Jesus, Torrin Brown, I'm really sorry to hear that. Every time you go live, I forget about those thoughts. Thank you, Torrin. That makes me feel really glad to do this. That's why I'm really happy that I'm able to reach out to everybody. Sometimes I'm just happy that it's a smaller stream, and it can be, less personal, and we can talk, especially, dark times like this. Torrin, I guarantee you got a lot more, to offer the world and live for than maybe you think some days. And, just be confident in yourself, man. Be confident in yourself. You're going to light it up. You're a great contributor to this community and this chat. And if you can do that there, I know you can do it anywhere. I believe Connor tags Justin with that big left. Justin will just forget about the stand-up and attempt to wrestle him. But in all honesty, Connor's wrestling it did get better. I don't know. Gaethje likes to war, though, man. I've not seen him give up his striking for wrestling. I don't know when it was the last time. Problem with Connor is he claims he'll fight anyone, but constantly avoids real fights. Like he's ducking Tony for years. And I believe that he doesn't want to smoke with Justin either. Who did he duck, Torin? Well, he definitely, he kind of taunted Tony back a little bit, but then would never say that he wanted the fight. And you know, if he said he wanted Tony, Dana would make that match in a second. So I'm going to side with Torin a little bit there. What are your thoughts on Usman and Masvidal? Usman is not my favorite style. I can't hate on him for that. His trash talk is abysmal compared to Ori Masvidal, but that's not what we're watching. Part of that's a language barrier. Certainly not going to, get on him for that. But man, that guy's cardio and wrestling, what he did to Tyron Woodley, it's hard to bet against him right now against anybody. But Jorge Masvidal also impressed me in that Nate Diaz fight. The way he cut off the angles, the way he was so unhittable, the way he countered, brilliant performance. And also your audio is awesome. Oh, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I was worried that maybe I was too far away from the mic and that it wasn't picking me up well. Thank you, iPhone. Stay safe, Holly. Where did I miss out? Yeah, everybody, stay safe. Stay in as much as you can. Hopefully this thing blows over quickly, guys. I really hope so. They BMF introduced in lightweight division. Supposedly that was a one-off. But I mean, there seemed like there was a lot of viewership and money in it. I wouldn't be surprised. Could unclog the division a little bit. I like a second title outside of an interim. I'm not sure if a BMF's the best thing, but like boxing has the USBA, of course they have the WBA, the IBF, the WBO, the WBC. I don't want them to get all crazy like that, but maybe a second, like an intercontinental belt, like WWE did back in the day, and probably still does. But Johnson tagged Justin, so imagine what Conor will do to him. Well, he also tagged Khabib. Michael Johnson was one of those fighters that can be competitive with any fighter, and he seems capable of losing to just about any fighter on any given night. I mean, he's one of those guys that's consistently inconsistent. Is a good way to describe Michael Johnson. I think Usman takes Masvidal to the ground. I believe his wrestling is just so damn good. I mean, he definitely could. Masvidal could catch him in one of those breaks or the beginning of the round. Maybe he catches him with some kind of flying knee. His wrestling, it's not abysmal. Jorge Masvidal is a balanced mixed martial artist, but that wrestling is so good with Usman.
I'm curious about something.
What's that?
What do y'all think about some of these big guys right now and how they would change in a world where we still had infinite rounds?
Oh, like no time limit? Just keep going?
Just keep going past the 5th round. Keep going until finishes.
Well, there was some argument. There was a lot of argument with that with John Jones and Dominic Reyes. Joe Rogan actually even said that he believes that the 4th and 5th round should be judged more heavily than the first rounds. Because if that fight had gone on with no time limit, John Jones wins it. But when you look at my scorecard, a lot of people's scorecards, and even Dana White's, you have Dominic Reyes winning 3 rounds to 2, and I thought clearly. But yeah, you're right. If that had been a no-limit time, John wins that fight.
I'm also curious to see.
I think he probably wins it every time.
This preservation of stamina, either in infinite fights or in much longer fights, who does better under that style? I think Conor does even better under that style.
Oh,
he doesn't have to throw as many strikes.
Oh, his cardio is abysmal, though.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not always the most educated.
Oh, that's okay, yeah.
If he does better cardio, then his style, I think, would lend itself, even if his cardio personally isn't great.
He's really dangerous early. Not generally so. Although I believe
Rounds.
yeah, I mean, even Diaz started to come on more late in the fight after Conor had floored him quite a few times.
Yeah.
Diaz has great stamina, of course. Yes, everyone, please take care of your mental health. That's as important as your physical health right now. How about John Jones jumping to heavyweight? Not a lot of heavyweights these last few years. That would be great. That'd be great to see. Did he say he's going to jump to heavyweight? I know he's kind of mentioned it in the past, or were you just saying, what are my thoughts on it? I'd like to see it. I'd like to see him fight some other guys, but I think he's fading physically, mentally, and I think there may be a CTE problem there before. I know I've talked about that a lot in the past, so I won't go into it real deep. Wish that they'll make more weight for the women's division so Chris Cyborg can come back. That relationship, I don't think, is ever going to be mended. The UFC and Dana White don't want Cyborg, and Cyborg does not want to be back in the UFC. She said recently in a podcast that she had contemplated retirement, that because she mostly just she'd been so disrespected by the UFC, not the loss to Amanda Nunes, so much as she was losing the fire for fighting, and now she's got it back with Bellator. Torrey was getting ready to fight Floyd, and they did a setup fight, Khabib, and then Tony. Then Tony forgot, injured wearing sunglasses, got injured wearing sunglasses in a dark room, tripped over wires. So yeah, right, yeah. That was a pretty crappy thing. What about that fight basically being canceled twice on April 1st, though? The first time, of course, they came out with the injury of the LCL on Tony Ferguson, and then this time it kind of became official April 1st, too. Please don't schedule this fight around April next time. My goodness. John Jones won't dare go up. Francis Ngannou will knock his cheating head off. Oh, that's true. Anthony Rebel Johnson, he said he will be coming back very soon. As soon as fights are ready, he wants John Jones. I'd like to see him have a worn-up fight first, but if it ends up being Jones first, maybe he gets a shot at Jones. Dom won that fight over John. Everyone knows that the judges are actually terrible. Takedowns should be getting points, but not that much. I agree. I've talked to Jeremy Horn about this too. You can look at the actual rules as they are written, and the judges are just not following the rules as far as how they score significant strikes, takedowns, ground control, round control, all of these things. I mean, there is a little bit of leeway, but not as much, I think, as most people think. There's actually some pretty aggressive language in there for referees. It basically says, like, if there's a close round, don't be lazy and just call it a draw. You really need to think about it. Rounds 4 and 5, Conor always tends to slow way down. Absolutely. No, but Jones been saying that for years. Torn says, seem to be the biggest fan of Conor McGregor. Well, he likes Conor McGregor. I mean, I like to watch the guy fight. I got plenty of criticisms for him, but I'm glad he's back. Jones been saying that for years. Don't sleep on Yorgan De Castro. I think Yorgan De Castro, he was scheduled to fight Greg Hardy. I think that's a bad matchup for Greg Hardy. I think Yorgan De Castro eats him alive, especially with those vicious leg kicks. Unless Hardy has really, really came around a long ways since his last fight, I don't think he does well against De Castro. Gonna head out and hang with my wife, guys. Love y'all. Stay healthy, stay safe, and stay classy. You as well, Snake. Have a great night, man. Good night, Snake. And I'm about to wrap this up. I guess the wife got some pizza. Shout out to South Lake Pizza. If you're ever in Lake Stevens, it's a real small place, but if you just want, old-fashioned good pizza. How good is South Lake Pizza, David?
Really good.
Yeah, compared to probably maybe the best pizza you've ever had, huh? Would you say?
Quite possibly.
Yeah, if you're used to, your Pizza Hut and Domino's, and we kind of got in that rut too, and then we brought home some South Lake Pizza, and David's like, oh my God. Just think about Tony Ferguson, been calling out McNuggets since 2015. And years later, 2029, Conor has yet to respond. 2019, yeah, 2020, y'all can't tell me Conor isn't shook by Tony Ferguson. Good points. Good points. Rumble's a scary heavyweight. Francis versus Rumble, scary. Rumble said he'd like to fight at light heavyweight first. I just don't know if I see that. He's a big dude. Francis wins. Francis is a monster. I hope that Francis Rosenstruck fight gets made very soon too. I hate when Connor's legs wobble at the end like WTF tour professional and you give away the fight. Yep. Francis can't wrestle, my guy. Rumble would take him down all day. This is true. He would have problems with his wrestling. Good night, man. Stream tomorrow, please. All right, we're definitely going to try to do. So we're going to do some streaming tomorrow. Me and David are working on figuring out the streaming on PS4 as well, so we can do some games. We'll definitely do some streaming tonight, or I mean tomorrow. Excuse me. So thanks for joining us, young David. It was good to have you in the fireside chat here. First fireside chat. Got the sun out here. So thank you everybody for joining me. I think I'm going to end this. Getting pretty late here. 9:20 here in Seattle. Tony Ferguson even admitted he ran into Connor and didn't even want to look at him. Tony said Connor looked like a deer in the headlights. What's up, Scott? Francis hard to keep down though. Rumble couldn't rinse and repeat without gassing. Well, yeah, Stipe did have a hard time keeping him down. Nagano, I was impressed with Nagano in that fight. I actually thought Nagano did a lot better than I thought he would. A lot of people thought Francis was going to win. Somehow they even made him a favorite. I thought Stipe was just going to mop the floor with him, and he did dominate. But he didn't dominate to the point that I thought he would. So the battery on this phone's about to die. So I will end this, so I don't care, so you can destroy him. Francis, hard to keep, yeah. All right, guys. Everybody take care of yourself. Stay healthy with this. I love you. I respect you. And while this is the Dianne Feinstein virus is going on, guys, stay healthy. Stay safe. Stay home. And stay clean.